If you aren't excited for Buffalo Bills football right now, mid-December, heading into Christmas, I need you to just don't watch the rest of this video. There's no need to, because I'm excited for Buffalo Bills football. So if you're not, go back to like vines that keep me from ending it all, or cat videos, or epic rap battles of history, or whatever, anything like that. Honest movie trailers, go whatever. And then there's no copyright. I don't know, no copyright infringement. I'm not making any money off these videos, just so. I don't know if I'm allowed to use those names if they're trademarked or whatever. Besides the point. This logo's probably trademarked, so whatever. Anyway, the Bills are 8-6. A couple weeks ago, I tried to tell you, or asked you, you would be excited if the Bills are 8-6, or try to pretend like you won't be excited if the Bills are 8-6 heading into Christmas Eve. Like, this is really like the best case scenario for this season. I think that, coming into the year was like, well, where could the Bills be, at Christmas time? And I don't think anybody would have put them over 8-6. I think most people probably would have had them around 6-8, maybe even 5-9, maybe even worse, because a lot of people thought that they were a rebuilding team, and I tried to tell you this at the beginning of the year too. The Bills were not a rebuilding team. Maybe they were, but not in the sense that everyone uses the term rebuilding throughout sports. Like, the term rebuilding is like, oh, we're getting rid of our old players and trading people for draft picks. And granted, the Bills did do a little bit of that. But, like, they're stripping it down, and they're not keeping any talented players. They just want to accumulate draft picks and get better through the draft and whatever, build it up that way. But the Bills didn't really do it all the way. And all along, I've thought that the Bills were a better team than people gave themselves credit for, because they kept the offensive line together. They kept Tyrod Taylor. They kept LaShawn McCoy. There's your biggest one right there. They kept LaShawn McCoy. He's got the most rushing yards in the league since he joined the Bills. They traded Sammy Watkins, sure, but they got E.J. Gaines, a player who has been very good for them. They traded Ronald Darby, but they got Jordan Matthews, who wasn't as impactful. But, they signed Jordan Poyer. They signed Micah Hyde. These are impact players for them. They draft Tre'Davious White, and they start him right away. Like, the defense has been stripped a little bit, because I know you got guys like Cedric Thornton in there, but Adolphus Washington, who's a pick of the old regime, and DeAndre Coleman's of the world, and Eddie Yarbrough's, but like, it's working. It's there, it's together, the playoffs are there. It's within the grasp. Now, I don't know if this is a fact, but I'm pretty sure it is. I haven't seen anything to the contrary, and I've been playing with the New York Times playoff machine a lot. We might even do it. We might even do that. But I think the Bills are guaranteed action in Week 17. They're guaranteed some sort of playoff scenario. They have a scenario for Week 17, which would be the first time that they could do that since 2004, when the Steelers came marching into town and Tommy Maddox played, and Willie Parker had a coming out party, and oh my God, you guys know the rest of that story. The Bills were 9-6, finished 9-7, missed the playoffs. That's the last time they had action in Week 17. So here we go. We got action. And like I said, maybe we'll play around with the New York Times playoff machine. I got it right here on my phone, and we'll go over some scenarios. Because do I really need to preview? Like, I'm going to title this video the same thing I always do, but do I really need to preview the Patriots game? We just played them 3 weeks ago. And what happened? The Bills lost 23-3. The Patriots had their second most total yards of the year, 435. They had their second most rushing yards of the year, 191. The Bills had the second fewest first downs against the year, with 16. Second fewest total yards against the Patriots, that is, with 268. The fewest passing yards against, with 85. And that was at home. And now the Patriots are going back home for the first time in a month. They've been on the road for 3 straight games. They've had a couple up and down weeks, though. They lost to Miami on Monday Night Football. They had this big controversy with the Steelers this past week. Ended up coming away with a win, which we've all seen that happen before. Now, granted, I'll weigh in on that quickly. I think the Jesse James play is incomplete. I'm not even from a right call, bad rule, right call, stupid rule type of thing. It legitimately looked incomplete to me. Now, I know that there's a thing he catches it and he goes across, and once the goal line is crossed, the play is over. But he is diving like while making the catch, he's off the ground and then like reaches, and the ball, like both his hands turn, and the ball is on the ground, and his left hand comes off the ball like this, and his right hand like moves a little bit, so the ball is like on the ground. And to me, that's incomplete. Like, that's the way that they've drawn it up. To me, there's nothing unclear about that. The rule is not that clear, but like according to the letter of the rule, not that even it's a bad rule. It's like it's incomplete. It's pretty clear to me. I mean, you can fight me if you want. I'm not a Patriots fan. Clearly, look at me. Look at me. I hate them with every fiber of my being. You know, since 2001, basically. But that was an incomplete pass. They still could have won. The Steelers still could have won the game. But, of course, they screwed it up on the next play. Anyway, big emotionally draining win for the Dolphins. Or not for the Dolphins. Bills play the Dolphins. For the Patriots. Typically, I don't like teams coming off emotional highs like that. But it's the Patriots. It's Belichick. It's Brady. It's Christmas Eve in New England. You know, the Patriots haven't been home for a month, like I said. I just don't. I mean, I don't like Buffalo's odds. I mean, Tyrod in his career against the Patriots is, let's see, as a starter, 1-4. Yes, that is correct, 1-4. Only win, obviously, coming last year against Jacoby Brissett in New England, 16-0. That is the only touchdown pass that Tyrod Taylor has thrown against the Patriots in his last 4 games against the Patriots. So, you know, they lost 23-3, 41-25. He had a rushing touchdown but did not throw any. And they lost 20-13 on Monday Night Football a couple years back, and he did not throw for any. So, expectations are low. I think a lot of fans are planning on going into Week 17 with an 8-7 record. We'll go over some, like I said, yeah, we're gonna go over the New York Times playoff machine because I want everyone to have a full understanding of it. I think it's, you know, a good conversation because I think most of it's realistic. Obviously, I'm not gonna go over all of the scenarios, but before we do that, you know, very pleased with the Bills' win against the Dolphins on Sunday. They scored 21 points in the first half. That's the first time they have done that. Or the first time, I meant to say the first time they scored on their opening drive since Cincinnati last year at Cincinnati, the game that I was at, which was fun. They won that game. Anyway, 21 first half points. Nobody can really complain about that. You know, they shut it down a little bit in the second half. I know they can't do that against New England, but at the end of the day, it's they won 24-16. Not sure why Preston Brown is on the hands team, but it ended up not making a difference. Jay Cutler just kept overthrowing his receivers, throwing inaccurately, hitting Sharice Wright, hitting Tre'Davious White, floating one at Jordan Poyer. Wasn't a big fan of Jarvis Landry in the game, and I've been a big fan of his throughout his career, but it seems like every time he plays the Bills, he gives me a reason to not like him. I mean, he was blocking guys out of bounds, got called for 2 penalties on one play. You know, they talk a lot. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Fred Jackson, actually, who on the John Murphy show said that, like, Miami is the team they talk the most. They're the team you play against and they talk the most. And that, I get that. Like, it's visible from where I'm standing, probably even from where you're watching it on TV. Miami is constantly running their mouths, and they're not that good of a team. So, for the 4th time since 2006, the Dolphins beat New England at home, go to Buffalo the next week, and lose. So, the Bills are at 8-6. We're there, guys. So, let's go over. I got the New York Times playoff machine up here. Here we go. This is a thing. How the Buffalo... sorry, you can't really see it. Where's the camera? There it is. How the Buffalo Bills can make the playoffs. Sorry if you can't really see it. Can get a wild card spot. Now, if the Bills win, this is based on 59,616 simulations. I don't know why I felt the need to share it with you. I just want you to know. If the Bills win against the Patriots, 70% automatically. 70% to get a wild card. If they lose, here we go. I'll give you my prediction right now. I'm gonna predict the Bills to lose to the Patriots, 31-17. There you go. 31-17 Pats. Guys, I just don't think it's happening. I mean, I would love it, but like I said, I'm never gonna really predict it. The Patriots, they're the Patriots, man. They've only allowed 1 rushing touchdown since week 8. and it was last week to Le'Veon Bell, the best running back in the league, or one of the best running backs in the league. They have Deion Lewis, Rex Burkhead probably won't play. That might be a plus, but then we'll probably just see Mike Gillis lean the end zone, right? Because that's how those things work with New England. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of talking about it. It's New England. I think most of us think we're going to lose. So, Patriots win. Puts the Bills at 33%. That's all. The games that have the biggest impact in Week 16. Colts, Ravens. That's Saturday. That's, you want the Colts to win that game. A Colts win would put the Bills at 50% to make a wild card. A Ravens win puts them at 27%. Because the Ravens are a 12.5-point favorite or something absurd like that, I'm going to put the Ravens in there. That drops the Bills to 27% wild card. The games that then matter the most that week, not a ton of them. Actually, it says here that you would want the Titans to win 31% to 26%, and the Jets to beat the Chargers 31% to 25%. But those games don't matter that much at this point. I'm going to the games that matter most, and those slide to Week 17. Obviously, the Bills need to win in Week 17. So this is a 9-7 Bills team losing to the Patriots and beating the Dolphins. The games that then matter most, assuming the Ravens beat the Colts. The Bills are in if the Bengals beat the Ravens. It's that simple. The Bills are in if the Bengals beat the Ravens. They are 89%. If that doesn't happen, let's just say the Ravens beat the Bengals. How else can we get in? The Jaguars could beat the Titans in Week 17. That puts the Bills to 85%. And then all they would need to happen is one of these things. The Chiefs would have to lose out. That's one. The Jets would have to beat the Chargers in Week 16. The Titans would have to beat the Rams in Week 16. I don't know if we all think that's going to happen. And the Chargers have to lose one. Or the Raiders would have to beat the Chargers in Week 17. So the Raiders have to lose one, or the Chiefs lose out, or the Titans beat the Rams. Okay. Are we following that? I know this is tough to follow. I've tweeted a bunch of this information too. If the Bills, let's say the Bills somehow pull off the upset and beat the Patriots just for fun. Let's see. We'll undo everything. If the Bills go 10-6, all they need is for Jacksonville, Baltimore, and Tennessee to all not finish 10-6. So they would literally just need one Ravens loss, one Titans loss, or one Jacksonville win. So Jacksonville could beat the Niners. Like if the Bills beat the Patriots this week and the Jaguars beat the Niners, the Bills control their own destiny in Week 17. There you go. If the Bills beat the Patriots and the Jags beat the Niners, the Bills can clinch against Miami just by winning. That's crazy. I'm gonna go with scenarios that I think are gonna happen right now. I think the Ravens are gonna beat the Colts. I think the Patriots are gonna beat the Bills. I think the Jaguars are gonna beat the 49ers. I think the Rams are gonna beat the Titans. I think the Chargers are gonna beat the Jets. And I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Dolphins. This is just all I think, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. 21% for the Bills going into Week 17. Doesn't sound great. By beating the Dolphins, the Bills go up to 44%. And then all they would need is Bengals win over the Ravens. Bengals win over the Ravens gets them in. If everything I said in Week 16 happens like that, Ravens beat the Colts, Chiefs beat the Dolphins, Patriots beat the Bills, Chargers beat the Jets, Rams beat the Titans, Jaguars beat the Niners. If that happens in Week 16, the Bills will need a win and Cincinnati to beat Baltimore in Week 17. That's it. I mean, Cincinnati's 5-9, not great. Maybe running for the bus. Marvin Lewis is on his way out, but that's what they would need to get in: a win and Baltimore loss, or a win, a Chargers loss to the Raiders, then either a Ravens or Titans loss. So that's the other way. All those Week 16 games stay intact. The Bills win. The Raiders beat the Chargers. That's at 4 o'clock, so you won't know. But then a Jaguars win over the Titans or a Bengals win over the Ravens gets them in. I mean, it's here. Guys, this is fun. This is the first time I've ever done this on the videos, and I've been making these videos for like 9 or 10 years, it seems like. So get excited. We're in this thing. Let me know what you're thinking, guys. These scenarios are plausible, right? They could happen. Be excited. I'm pumped up. I'm a little bummed that I have to watch the Bills play the Patriots on Christmas Eve with my family, but imagine if we clinch on New Year's Eve. Imagine this town. Enjoy your Christmas, guys. Above all else, go Bills.